You know, I feel like I should do some kind of explanation as to why this didn't get recorded in time, due to the fact that I just had this idea like 3 days ago to do this. Oopsie. Hopefully it'll get edited in time for Halloween. Hello, cyberspace. Welcome back to Tipsy's Kitchen. So, usually every year I throw a big Halloween party. This year, because of everything going on, not so much. I'm probably not even going to have anybody over. That's not going to stop me from showing you guys 2 easy and tasty crowd-pleasing treats. We're going to be making eyeballs and we're going to be making bones. These are not hard, I promise you. If you can shove a mini marshmallow onto the end of a straight pretzel and you can make Rice Krispie treats, you're going to be fine. Seriously, that's the hardest steps of all of this. I'm going to show you my tips and tricks to show you guys how to make the best treats. To make the eyeballs, you're going to need butter, mini marshmallows, and puff rice cereal. In order to make the Rice Krispie treats, you're going to need a big spoon and a big pot and a measuring cup. Once we get into the eyeball formation with these Rice Krispies, you're going to need wax paper, you're going to need a disher, and a little bit of oil spray. Trust me, this is going to make your life easier, because it will stick to this if you don't have this. To finish off our eyeballs, we're going to use the white almond bark, decorator gel icing, I've got this in red, and M&Ms, or another kind of candy coated chocolate. Now, to make the bones, it's even easier. You need straight pretzel sticks, mini marshmallows, and almond bark. Seriously, this is going to be easy. So why don't we get started? Okay, raise your hand if you guys don't know how to make Rice Krispie treats. Seriously, this recipe is really, really easy. You can usually find it on the back of any of these boxes, be it name brand or generic. For every package of mini marshmallows, you're going to use about 6 cups of the puff rice cereal. You're also going to use about 2 tablespoons of butter. So before I get started, I'm going to measure this out, because once all of this gets melted, you don't have a long window before it starts to caramelize and burn. And I don't want that. I want to be able to just dump my rice cereal in all at once. Don't have to worry about it. Stir, be done. Okay? So here we go. All done. So something I've already done before I get started here is I've already laid out some wax paper and gotten my tools ready, because as soon as we're done with this, we're going to quickly move over and we're going to scoop out the eyeballs and put them on wax paper while this is still pretty warm. If you wait until it gets cool, you're going to have a horrible, horrible time on your hands. So here we go. I'm going to turn the heat to a little under medium. I'm going to melt the butter. Now it may take a while to get the butter melted because the pan's not warm. That's fine. Now that I've got a good layer of butter at the bottom, I'm going to open my mini marshmallows. And we're just going to dump them in. Immediately start stirring. You're going to keep stirring this a little bit at a time until it becomes nice and smooth. So we're nearly there. One tip I wanted to point out is use a pan that is a lot bigger than what you think you'll need, because once you add the cereal, you really don't want it flopping out, so having a bigger pan does help prevent that. You can cook this at a lower temperature. It's going to take a little longer, but if you just keep really, really stirring, you should be fine. I've got a little caramelization going on. I'm not that worried because it's not black yet. Thank goodness. So we're nice and smooth. And now I'm going to kill the heat and all at once dump the cookies in. Congratulations, I've done the hardest part of this job. Alright, so this is fresh off the stove. It is hot. It is like molten lava. It will stick to anything, which is why, like I said, you're going to spray. It's okay if you have a little extra. You'd rather have this really lubricated than not lubricated at all. I'm just going to lightly pack it and put it down. Get a little stringy bits, no problem. You can work that in later. Okay, I've gotten the goodie. While these are still warm, you don't want them scalding hot, obviously, but while they're warm, spray your hands. It's better if somebody else sprays it for you. Get them good and greasy. The reason why is now we're going to take these and we're going to kind of form them lightly into a ball. Don't press, don't like squeeze it or anything. You're just going to want to lightly shape it. If you really squeeze these are going to become hard as rocks and you're not going to be able to bite into them at all. Let me show you the difference. So if I lightly pack this, not too bad, right? Nice little ball. If I really squeeze it and work it heavy, where these started out the same size, you see they're very different. This is going to be dense and hard. Don't do that. All done. So now I'm going to let these kind of cool and dry off a little bit, and then I'll get to making the basis of the bones. After we get all those done, then we'll start dipping. This has all devolved to chaos. There's a dog next to me trying to eat my daughter's crackers. And he is now succeeding in getting one. Alright, now we're at the second stage. We've made all of our eyeballs. It's time to make the bones. Forgive Tidbit, she's running around with a snack. And take the pretzel stick and you're going to shove the marshmallow on. Go all the way so that you can see the end of the pretzel stick on the other side, and then just kind of pull it back a little bit. That helps them stay on better. If you just do and don't poke it out the end, this is going to more easily fall off in the dipping process. And repeat. Would you like one of these? Only took a little bit of convincing. Here, those are yours. These are Mommy's. No more. Yes, you are all done with the marshmallows. Alright, now that we've made our bone bases and we've got our eyeballs all ready and they're cool, next thing we're going to do is melt this. We're just going to open up, try to break it up. Most of these will have perforations or indentations like that, so you can easily break it into smaller pieces. Usually. I'm going to melt this on high for 30 seconds. I'm going to give it a stir, and it probably won't be fully melted then. More than likely it won't. Then I'm going to go in 15-second intervals until it just melts. You might see there's like tiny little pieces when you first open the microwave, but then when you start stirring it, all of those pieces go away. That's what we want. We don't want to overheat this. It does give it a funky flavor if you do. So here we go. As you see, after one microwave, It's definitely not ready. Okay, that's after two 15-second intervals. You can see it's starting to coat the side. That's good, we're getting there. 2 more intervals. And this is going to go really fast from here on out because we've now got it up to temperature for the most part on the outside. The inside will go really quick. This was just one more 15-second interval. You see how thin it's becoming? Yes, there's still some big chunks. So I still need to go another 15 seconds. But hopefully it'll be ready then. That's what we want to see. Beautiful. Yeah. So as you see, this is nice and melty. It took probably a total of 2.5 minutes to get it to this point. All right. So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna toss the eyeballs in. I usually do about 5 at a time, but keep track of how many you put in here. You're just gonna roll them around with the fork until they're coated. Make sure they're good and coated. The reason I use a fork is it helps drain away some of the excess on the bottom. So scoop it up with your fork, kind of jiggle it a little bit to let the excess drain off, and then just roll it off onto the paper again. If you see there's a spot that the fork was touching and it kind of gets uncovered, thankfully enough sticks to the fork that you can kind of wiggle over it and kind of paint it back on. You really don't want this coating chocolate to become too thin, otherwise it just runs right off of these little eyeballs and makes a huge puddle around them rather than keeping really close to the eyeball itself. All of these took about 1 full block of that almond bark, so I've got to go melt some more before I do these. Be right back. So I've got a new batch of melted coating chocolate. I'm going to just drop a couple of these in here. 5 seems like a great number. Just kind of submerge them, push them under. And this is where the fork comes in. These you're going to want to gently jiggle, and you'll see a lot of stuff drains away. You're going to take it and you're just going to let it slide off the fork. Easy peasy. Again, if your chocolate is super runny, I'm going to finish all these bones up. That'll give time for the eyeballs chocolate coating to solidify. Then we'll be ready to decorate them. The bones are all done. They're all dried and lovely, and oh, you're going to love them. Next step is to decorate these eyeballs. First thing I try to do is I just try to break off some of the extra chocolate, kind of make it a little bit more even at the bottom. Don't have to do it, I just do. Next I'm going to open up this lovely box of M&Ms. Pour some out. So normal eye colors are usually brown, blue, green. I tend to use those, but if you really want to go for a spooky effect, definitely go for like the orange and the red, because they'll be really cool. So I'm going to take this decorator gel icing. I'm going to make a little dot right there. I'm going to take a yellow and put it right on top. Now try not to like move it too much because the gel is a little runny and it will not hold this until it truly solidifies. Next, you're going to just draw some lines to make it look like a nice bloody eyeball. You don't have to be super precise. This is kind of making you think that it's a bloody eyeball. So just keep repeating until you've got all of these done. When you're doing your lines, try to make them wiggly and kind of branch off of each other like you would see normal blood vessels doing. Blood vessels aren't all straight. They have curves and branches and whatnot to get around the body. Keep that in mind. Well, they're all done. As you see, they weren't that hard. They're pretty easy. The bones definitely are a lot easier than the eyeballs, But you know what? She's gonna try them. Well, we are too. But.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got one without any frosting stuff on it because red dye would go everywhere and it would look like we beat the child. You ready? Would you like to try it, Tidbit?
Want to try this?
Gotta figure out how to bite into it. In the meantime, we can try one. Mmm. Definitely a sugar bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Now try it. How's that? By the way, this is right before her bedtime.
Whose idea was this?
Mine.
Mm.
I accept responsibility.
Good, you'll take care of it.
Yay! And the next are these bones. I think she sees these as easier to eat.
Just a little bit. Mmm.
A little salty, a little sweet. Definitely tones down the sweetness of the coating chocolate. Mm-hmm. Kid approved.
Mm-hmm.
Between the Rice Krispie treats and the marshmallows and the bones, how can you go wrong? I guess that's it for this time.
Well, happy Halloween, everybody.
Take care. You want me to save that? Okay, thank you. I'll save it for you, okay? You can have it tomorrow.
Yeah.
All done. Good job. High five. Yeah. Fist bump. Yeah, that was great. And that's how we end it.